Greetings, my beautiful lovelies. It's Emmy. How are you? It's great to see you and welcome back. Today, I'm going to be making yet another recipe that contains cottage cheese. I feel like it's the ingredient of the moment. Every recipe I've been seeing lately contains cottage cheese because it adds extra protein, and a lot of people are interested in consuming more protein these days. But what I'm interested in is, does that improve the flavor? Does it taste good? Today we're going to be making pancakes that contain cottage cheese, but what I also find interesting about this recipe is that it's based on one that already exists. It comes from the Eastern Slavic region and it's called Thicc, and it's a pancake that's made with a fresh cottage cheese. And they're tall and they're fluffy, they look marvelous, and I'm imagining they're going to taste good. So this recipe also contains Greek yogurt, a little bit more protein, a little bit more dairy, but the acidity from the yogurt is going to react with the baking powder, so it should even make the pancakes even taller and fluffier, which is great, right? Who doesn't love tall, fluffy pancakes? Well, I sometimes don't love tall, fluffy pancakes. Sometimes I want a thinner pancake, depending on my mood, but that's besides the point. The recipe I'm going to be testing today comes from the pancake princess, Erica herself. I'll put a link down below to her blog. She very vigorously tests all kinds of recipes for a single thing, like brownies, for example, and then has a bunch of people taste test them, and then she very thoroughly ranks them based on flavor, taste, texture. Love the methodical effort she puts into things. And this specific recipe is inspired by pancakes that you can find at Arthur's Nosh Bar up in Montreal. So enough jibber jabber, let's go ahead and get started. So into our bowl, we're going to combine our wet ingredients first. 1 cup of cottage cheese, and equal amount of Greek style yogurt. Greek style yogurt is incredible stuff. It's super thick. It has much of the whey removed from it, so it's just really rich tasting and feeling, has a marvelous texture. So Greek style yogurt. Have you ever made bread with Greek style yogurt? It's fantastic. To that, we're going to add 2 eggs, 2 eggs, and a bit of milk or water. I'm just going to use a little water, and a bit of vegetable oil. And we're just going to whisk that up very thick. So even the wet ingredients in this recipe are thick. Between the cottage cheese and the yogurt, eggs. Super easy. Just to sweeten things up, a little bit of sugar and some baking powder. Fluff these up. And some salt. This is kosher salt. I'm gonna whisk that in. And then, of course, flour. Flour, just regular all-purpose. A few of you have asked about my flour canister here, and this, of course, is something that I thrifted. I love thrifting things. I find wonderful little treasures. And this originally was made for coffee, I believe, because it says Community Kitchen's Fresholator, and then I thought it said coffee on it. How did I think? I think I looked this up and it said coffee, but it is vintage. Isn't it great? It has this like embossing on it, but what I really love is that it has this airtight little latch. Keeps everything airtight. Now we're just gonna fold in our flour. Not really fold, but just stir it in. And this batter should be nice and thick, because we're making thick pancakes. It's almost more like a dough than a batter. Wow, I don't think I've ever made a pancake recipe with batter this thick before. It's almost like a scone recipe. Okay, now we're ready to fry up our pancakes. I've got my griddle preheating here. I love this griddle. This is my Zojirushi nonstick griddle. Love making pancakes. Breakfast, for that matter, is my favorite thing to cook in it because I can cook multiple things at once, but it's really great for cooking big batches of pancakes. So I usually cook my pancakes around 300 degrees, maybe a little bit less, so they don't over brown. And I'm gonna reduce the heat just a little bit and put just a tiny bit of oil and distribute it with a brush see, you can see it's quite hot, so I'm just gonna put it on the warm setting. To form these pancakes, I'm going to be using an ice cream scooper, just so they're nice and even. Plop them down in nice tall mounds. Alrighty, so Erica says 1 or 2 minutes on each side. Flip, flip. I guess the cheese kind of browns up on there nicely, a little bit darker. Oops. Put a little bit more oil, I think. I'm getting a little bit of sticking, and I think that's from the cheese. My kids love pancakes. I love making big batches of pancakes and then freezing them after they've cooled. And then my kids can just warm them up for an easy breakfast. Really great for school days. Let's flip this over. So because these pancakes are super thick, Erica has come up with a cool method of cooking them all the way through. And we're gonna add just a couple of teaspoons of water and let them kind of steam cook, just so they get cooked all the way through. I also don't have my heat on too high because then you'll quickly cook both sides and the middle will be very, very raw. So this is getting there. Okay, so like a lot of appliances, they don't cook evenly, or griddles I should say. So I know that the outside part of my grill is a little bit cooler. So I'm moving the ones that are more cooked to that spot. The ones that are less cooked to the middle. Alrighty, lovely. So both sides of the pancakes have been fried to a nice golden color, but the insides are still a little bit squishy. So we're going to just quickly steam them. Take 2 tablespoons of water, quickly put that on there, put the lid on, and let them steam up so the inside gets nice and cooked and they're not going to be doughy and raw inside. Right? That's the idea. All right, the steaming has abated. Look at that. I'm gonna need these a little push, and yes, they are not squishy any longer. Brilliant, brilliant. Look at this. Don't these look great? Okay, let's plate them up. Look how thick they are. Fluffy, fluffy, fluffy. First taste of Thicc. They're so tall. Oh, ho, ho, ho. 12 perfect little pancakes. Look at that. Look how tall they are. Alrighty, we got a pat of butter on there. Now we're gonna add some syrup. Beautiful. Alrighty, lovelies, will you look at these pancakes? Look at them. Aren't they beautiful? I added a pat of butter on top and a nice drizzle of pure maple syrup. They look amazing. Alrighty, let's give them a taste. Look at the inside. I have a hunch that this is not the traditional toppings for Thicc, but this is usually what I have when I have pancakes. So let's give it a taste. Here we go. Itadakimasu. Mmm. Mmm. Mm-hmm. They're not like regular pancakes for sure. They're much denser. They are completely cooked. Look at this. And I've never been to Arthur's Nosh Bar either, so I can't compare and tell you how similar these are to those. But what I can tell you is that these are very moist, fully cooked, a little on the denser side in my opinion for a pancake. Having said that, at the same time they're not stodgy or overly starchy, but it's not what I think of when I think of a pancake. But with butter and maple syrup, it's pretty stinking delicious. Look at that. Oh, I'm just dripping maple syrup everywhere. they don't taste particularly cheesy. That's what I was wondering about. We're adding a full cup of cottage cheese in here. Do they taste cheesy? They don't. They taste pleasantly rich. If anything, maybe a little eggy. Not really though. All I really taste is maple syrup and butter, and it's more of a textural thing. Kind of thick, a little bit doughy, but not raw. But gotta have maple syrup in my opinion. So stinking good. Or homemade freezer jam. This is strawberry freezer jam I made with this year's strawberries. Look at that electric color. It's not even showing up on camera how electric it is. This is my other favorite topping to have on pancakes. Strawberry freezer jam. I'm gonna put that on the middle one because that one didn't have much syrup on it. Let's see if I like it better with freezer jam. Here we go. I do like it better with jam. The strawberry jam is a little bit tart. I think it goes really, really well with these pancakes because there's a lot of pancake going on here. And the strawberry jam really stands up to it. I think that's better than the maple syrup. The maple syrup makes it feel a little bit too dessert-like, a little heavier. Wow. The strawberry freezer jam really kind of brightens it and kind of lifts it. Otherwise it feels a bit heavy. But yeah, this is the way to go. This is sort of the complete opposite of a Swedish style pancake or like a crepe. Completely opposite, but still delicious. And packed with protein and super, super easy to make. I made the entire batch in just one go on my griddle here. And I didn't have to wait for the batter or anything, didn't have to rest anything, just made it right away. So very, very easy and quick and pretty delicious, but a very specific style of pancake, along with a lot of protein. Alright, my lovelies, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that one. I hope you learned something. Please share this video with your friends. Follow me on social media, like this video, subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one. Toodaloo, take care, bye! Oh my gosh, I forgot to mention all the other pancake recipes I've made. Other tall and fluffy pancakes and pancakes, but pancakes, such a versatile thing. Delicious too.